Liftoff.
Hey, welcome to Weekend Confirms Question of the Week. I'm Jeff Mattas, and this week's question comes from Ground Flyer. He says, do branching story paths matter in a story narrative, or is the illusion of choice sufficient? Well, honestly, I think that these days, in most cases, in most games, it really is just the illusion of choice. The story basically, or the levels, or whatever you're playing, play out basically the same. Now, there are exceptions to that, but most of those you'll find in big, expansive RPGs like Skyrim or The Witcher 2. The Witcher 2 is probably the game that has the most dramatic, story-based consequences, where you'll actually start Act 2 of the story in a completely different area if you do certain things or answer certain ways than if you, or you might end up somewhere entirely different. So it's pretty cool. It's very, from a programming perspective, it takes a lot of extra resources and time to do something like that, and you're typically talking about content that not a large percentage of gamers are going to even see. So yeah, I mean, it matters. I think any time that a game does inject actual choice into the game, it's actually really, really cool. But most games, like I said, unless you're into an RPG, it really doesn't matter. You're going to be going through a linear story, and you might have a couple of, Spec Ops was a great example of that. There was sort of, there were different endings, but it was sort of the illusion of choice. Nothing you really did had that much of an impact. So, I think it boils down to the genre of game. RPGs, I hope, will continue making strides in that area where, you'll see more and more, real, tangible consequences for your choices. But I think in most other cases, the illusion of choice is going to have to suffice. It's a great question, though. Thanks.
In our favor, except you can see even now that there are good digital download games that have been
highly
out
recommend
this summer,
that.
and yet
The second question comes from RS. RS basically is asking, what's my favorite
addition to putting out games over the summer, at least during that dead spot. It's sometime in June.
I know a lot of people are going to say 4.
Really
4 is
bad,
excellent.
and then
Can't
July
argue with
and
that.
August is
2,
just
like that.